Hello guys, welcome back to History Cabinet and Politics.
Our focus today is on who is winning the war.
What we are talking about here is Russian invasion of Ukraine, which started on 24th of February this year. According to the world recognized and acknowledged statistics, Russia is the first nation in the list of the highest number of nukes holders in the world. That is nuclear weapons and also ammunitions of mass destruction. According to the statistics, Russia has 1,900 and while the United States is second with 1,500 or 600 and depending on the source. And Russia spends about 4% of the gross domestic profit on their military and their defense. Russia spends over 10 times more than what Ukraine spends on their defense annually. Russia has more than twice as much as Ukraine on artillery. So, as a result of all these facts and many more that I will not mention in this video, the general view by war experts before the invasion of Ukraine by Russia was that Russia would have a swift victory and that Kyiv, the capital of Ukraine, would fall under 72 hours. According to a CIA agent, the Russian initial plan was to have a quick march onto Kyiv, meeting token resistance, that is few resistance, and then taking over the capital city under a few days. The Russian government considered this a special military operation or a special military exercise and not a war. This Russian initial plan fell apart within 48 hours when their early operations like airborne assaulting of Hostomel airport ended in disaster, thus forcing Russian generals to develop a new strategy on the fly. They came up with what is called massive artillery bombardment and besieging or encircling of Ukrainian major cities. And this was more effective and very brutal. And the Russians have succeeded in penetrating the Ukrainian territory, most especially on the south, where they have succeeded in taking Kherson and Melitopol and besieging Mariupol. During this period, Ukraine has made a tactical decision which they are still upholding. And what is that decision? To trade space for time, to withdraw strategically as Russian army advances rather than fight for every inch of Ukrainian land, then confronting the Russians on their territory at their own convenient time. This demonstrates the choice of the Ukrainians of not getting into a pitched large-scale battles with Russians on open terrain, which is where Russians' advantage of numerical strength would prove decisive. The Ukrainians therefore decided to engage Russia on smaller scale clashes. They started using their geographical knowledge of the area to attack Russian supply lines and also Russian forces which are in the open. Also using their superior network and knowledge of the area as indigenes of the area to know where to hide and set ambushes for the Russian forces in smaller units of their divisions. This approach has remarkably proved effective and has stalled the Russian invasion since March. Even the Russian military has openly recognized this fact when their general in late March briefing stated that their initial reason was not to take over Kyiv but to make short territorial gains in the east, which is openly and evidently false looking at how they started their invasion and the massive bombardment at the early stages of the invasion. Currently, the Ukrainian forces are in the offensive and has pushed Russian forces and military further away from Kyiv. Throughout these fightings, Russian casualties has been massively high, although it is very hard to calculate the losses in a war. I'm going to try giving an estimate of the losses of the Russians in this war. From the US Defense Department, 7,000 soldiers of the Russians were killed in the first 3 weeks of the war, and about 7 Russian generals has died during this war. All this does not mean that Russian victory is impossible, as sides or variables may change tomorrow. Variables such as reinforcements and some other things may still happen and turn the battle to the other side. What I am trying to say in essence is that if Russians' goal is to wreak havoc in Ukraine, then they are doing perfectly fine. But if their goal is to wreak havoc, advance further, and take over Ukraine, then they are not doing fine currently. This is where we are going to end today's video. If you have anything you want to contribute to this video, please feel free to contribute it in the comment section, and if you have any correction you want to make in the sources and the facts I mentioned, you can feel free to do that. See you all in the next video. Bye.